I think we're live. All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Youth Group Online. This is a big deal. We've never done this before, so stay tuned. Don't click away.
Yeah, nah. I couldn't get a ride. I was sanitizing the toilet. I left my computer at home. Wait. No. I left it somewhere else. Yeah, I was doing homework. My dog died. Play dead. Yeah, my mom still doesn't like the youth pastor. Oh wait, you are the youth pastor. My bad. I ate too many Flintstone Vites. You didn't say it was online. I couldn't figure out the Zoom. I got out of school late. Yeah, sorry, dude. Wi-Fi is slow. My dad was trying to stream the NBA game. Wait, there's no sports? I didn't say NBA. I said he was watching Space Jam. Yeah, I'm fasting from social media on Wednesdays. I don't like how I look on camera. Yeah, I was dropping some volume. Yeah, my phone is broke. Yeah, I don't know anybody there. Yeah, my mom was on there. I didn't want to be on there too. Oh, Becky's gonna be on? Yeah, I'll totally be on. Oh, Jennifer's gonna be on there too? That's a no-go, dude. Yeah, my mom was like freaking out. She thought I was sick, so instead of giving me Dayquil, she gave me NyQuil and just fell asleep. I was too busy reading the Bible. I can't focus on my phone for that long. Oh, I thought you meant 6 a.m. Yeah, I was walking my cat. I don't have a cat. Yeah, dude, I got a major case of the farts. I was just too busy, man. Yeah, my phone's on 20%, so... Yeah, I didn't want to put a shirt on. I was zooming with another youth group. Yeah, the better one. The one with Becky. No, yeah, I didn't get any emails. No. Yeah, I promise. I didn't get any emails. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, I took the garbage out. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 No, I didn't throw my phone in the dirt. No, I dropped it. Yes, I learned my lesson. Yes, I'm quarantined, Mom. Yeah, I'm inside. Yeah, I promise. Yeah, you can see me? No, I just walked out to get something.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to MSM. We're so glad you joined us tonight. We miss seeing you in person so very much, but we're glad we're able to connect here on YouTube each Wednesday night. So, just to start off, we are going to talk about our trivia question that we had last week. Last week, we asked how much toilet paper does the average person use each day? And the answer is 57 sheets of toilet paper. So you can keep track tomorrow if you want and see if you're above or below average. So we had a number of people who got the correct answer and submitted it online, and we are going to go to our random name picker and see who is going to be chosen the winner of the gift card for this week. Let's take a look. Congratulations, Owen! We will be sending out your gift card in the mail very soon, so look for that. Congratulations on winning. So, again, going with our toilet paper and toilet theme, for our trivia questions, we have another one for this week. And our question for this week is, an old saying for going to the toilet was going to the blank. And the answers are A, going to drop some things off. B, going to have some private time. C, going to release the Kraken. Or D, going to spend a penny. So, if you think the answer is A, B, C, or D, you can go to msm.eswampstudents.com and submit your answer. And we will choose one person out of all the right answers to win a gift card, and we will pick them next week, first thing, at MSM. So again, thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you get the answer right and win the gift card. But either way, we're so glad that you joined us tonight. We care about each and every one of you so very much, and we hope you're able to connect with your small groups coming up soon. If you didn't get an invite to your small group, reach out to us, let us know. We want to make sure that you can get connected into your small group. Your small group leaders would love to see you and connect with you tonight after Ben's devotional. So right now we're going to head over to Ben's house, and he's going to share a little bit with us, and then right after that will be small groups. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good night.
Hello everybody, welcome to MSM on this Wednesday evening. You may notice a couple things that are different about tonight. One, you'll notice that I'm in the kitchen, not in the living room. Also, you may have noticed that a lot of my hair has come off of my head because I finally was able to get a haircut during COVID-19. So, very happy about that. Anyway, why are we in the kitchen? I thought we'd start by doing a little bit of a head-to-head kind of game. I'm going to put two items in front of the camera, and you are going to tell me which one you would pick if you had to pick one. So you can do that by commenting below in the comments, or just shout at the screen like a weirdo and see what your family says. They might be used to that. They might be like, oh look, that one's doing something weird again. It's probably pretty common right now. Okay, so first up, we have potato chips versus pretzels. Go. Which one do you pick? Potato chips, pretzels. Go. All right. Let's say you're in the mood for a sweet little treat and you have to pick one. You have M&Ms or Raisinets. Which is it going to be? M&Ms, Raisinets, okay? All right, maybe something a little bit more healthy options too. We have banana, apple. Which one? Which one? Okay. All right, how about dessert? We have mint chocolate chip or Oreos. Well, imitation Oreos, but they taste like Oreos. Mint chocolate chip or Oreos. Okay? All right, breakfast time. Are you going to have oatmeal and raisins or bacon and eggs? Bacon and eggs. Oatmeal and raisins. What's it going to be? Okay. And one last bonus question. This is, what is Kieran's favorite toy right now? We have the Little People bus. Very fun. Or we have the magnetic train, which has a track and all that kind of thing. He's got more cars too. So what is it? The Little People bus or the magnetic train? All right. Are you ready for the answer? It's the train. It's totally the train. He's been playing with the train for days. He loves it. Can't get enough of it. He likes putting them together, and then he gets mad when they don't go together, and it's great. He has a good time. For me, my pick is potato chips, Raisinets. I'm going banana, I think, yeah. I'm going to go stupid question. Why don't we just mix these together and make an amazing dessert? But I'd still probably have to say pick mint chocolate chip. But if you put these in a blender with a little splash of milk, you have like the best shamrock shake ever. It's better than a shamrock shake. Breakfast, I'm going, most of the time I would say I go bacon and eggs. All right. Now I will have you rejoin me in the living room for our lesson. So, did all of those things get you in the mood to have a snack? I think that when I'm done, I'm going to have a snack. Maybe Raisinets. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Anyway, that was for fun, but also it served a point, because what we want to talk about tonight is differences and at times divisions. So people can get really heated, right, about the things that they prefer over other things, what they like over what they don't like. You know, more than potato chips and pretzels, people can get really heated about sports teams like the Philadelphia Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys, for an example. I remember when I was in kindergarten, I had a metal lunchbox with Pac-Man on it, which I thought it was pretty neat. But this friend of mine, his name was William, and he told me that metal lunchboxes were stupid and that plastic lunchboxes were better, and that the future, it was always going to be about plastic lunchboxes. Which I was like, no, you're wrong. Metal is so much stronger, it's better. I would say he was probably right, because by the next year, I had a Garfield plastic lunchbox. So, yeah. But so, we can get pretty divided and we can get pretty heated about the things that we like and the things that we don't like. Now, what happens when we get heated about people that we don't like, or groups of people that we don't tolerate or don't want to talk to or don't associate with? That's what I want to talk about. To help us with that, I drew a map. Map. Isn't it amazing? I made it on cardboard with a Sharpie, so it's not that great, but hopefully it will serve us well tonight. This is a map of Israel during the time of Jesus. Well, kind of. I'm sure it's not to scale, but if you look in the back of a Bible or if you find one online, this is showing, so over here would be the Mediterranean Sea. Here would be the Sea of Galilee, the Jordan River flowing down to the Dead Sea down here. This whole area here in this boundary is Judea. And this area up here in the north, this boundary, is Galilee. So most of what we hear about in the Bible, in Jesus' life, is usually taking place either up in Galilee or down in Judea, for the most part. For example, here is Bethlehem. Here is Jerusalem. So obviously Jesus born in Bethlehem. Anytime Jesus goes to a festival or a holy day, it's in Jerusalem. This is Bethany. That's where Mary and Martha lived, and Lazarus. This is Jericho. Up here we have Nazareth. This is where Jesus grew up. And then we have Capernaum and Bethesda. So that's where like most of the fishermen disciples were, like James and John and Peter and Andrew were from there. So a lot of the things that happen are happening in these two areas. But there's this one big area right in the middle of these two that I just shaded it in black because to represent that most of the Jewish people during that time did not associate with the people that lived in the black spot, in this black area. They despised them. They didn't associate with them. They didn't like them. If they had to go through here, they surely would get through here as quick as possible. Some scholars believe that most Jewish people, if they had to make a trip from north to south or south to north, they would actually take a route that would take them all the way around Samaria, adding a whole week onto their journey so that they wouldn't have to deal with the people that lived in Samaria. So we call them the Samaritans because they lived in Samaria. So I want to tell you just a couple quick stories that we have from the scripture about the Samaritans. One time, Jesus was walking through Samaria with his disciples. So it's interesting, we actually have several occurrences where Jesus' disciples are inside of Samaria. So if there were people that were taking the whole week walk all the way around Samaria, it wasn't Jesus. He was taking his disciples right through Samaria. And he wasn't just booking it through there as quick as he could. He actually stopped to talk to and minister to and heal Samaritan people. So, there was one time his disciples were in Samaria with Jesus, and the disciples were getting kind of irritated with the Samaritans. And so James and John said, Lord, do you want us to call down fire from heaven and destroy them? And Jesus rebuked them for doing that, for saying that, because obviously Jesus does not want to call fire down from heaven to destroy them. But such was the view of James and John. They were just like, these people, they annoy me so much. Lord, can we call down fire and just destroy them? Is that what we could do? No, Jesus said, no, don't do that. There was another time Jesus was walking through Samaria, probably somewhere up here, and there were 10 lepers that saw Jesus far away. And remember I said about lepers and quarantine, like lepers would have to stay far away from the rest of the camp. So they saw Jesus from a distance on a road, and they shouted to him, Jesus, have mercy on us. And so Jesus said, okay, you're cleansed. Go show yourselves to the priest. And just like that, they were healed. And they went and showed themselves to the priest. Except for one. He came back and fell at Jesus' feet and basically praised him and thanked him with a grateful heart for healing him of his leprosy. And that person was a Samaritan. So Jesus kind of commends him for having that sort of response. Another story that is pretty familiar is the woman at the well. The woman at the well was in Samaria. She was a Samaritan woman. And Jesus was talking to her at the well, and she wound up being probably the very first missionary sent out to tell people about him. After she talked to Jesus at the well, she ran back to her town. She said, come and meet this guy, Jesus. He's the Messiah. And sure enough, the people came and they started to believe. And Jesus stayed several days in Samaria and taught the people and healed them. And so I'll stop with, or I'll do one more example, and I'm going to read that from the scripture. And it's one that you probably know. It's, usually when you hear the word Samaritan, you think of the Good Samaritan. So the Good Samaritan is found in Luke's Gospel, Luke chapter 10, and we'll start in verse 29. This man was questioning Jesus, and he says, well, who is my neighbor? Okay, so Jesus gives this story as a response to who is my neighbor. A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he fell into the hands of robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man in his own donkey, took him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day, he took out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert of the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. First and foremost, that is a story about how we ought to love our neighbor and how we ought to be giving and sacrificial and loving. But what you might not understand is that the hero of that story is a Samaritan. The priest and the Levite wind up walking on the other side of the road, avoiding this man who was laying on the road, half dead. The Samaritan is the one who's the hero of the story, who takes him in, basically tends to his wounds, takes him to an innkeeper, and takes care of him. That would be like, I'm trying to think of some example. let's say if Jesus were in Philadelphia and he was telling the story, some guy fell on the road and he got hit by a truck and he was like injured. But Carson Wentz comes along, the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, and walks along on the other side of the road. I don't think the real Carson Wentz would do that, but just for the sake of the story. And then Doug Peterson comes by. He's the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He sees this poor man on the side of the road getting hit by the truck. And he walks by on the other side too. I don't think the real Doug Peterson would do that, but just for the sake of the story. But then a Dallas Cowboys fan comes by and sees the man hit by the truck. And he takes him in, bandages his wounds, takes him to the hospital, makes sure he gets all the medical attention that he needs. Which of these three men did the right thing? Oh, shock! The Cowboys fan! No! It's silly. But even more so, by Jesus making someone from this void, this black hole, people that we don't talk to, associate with, we don't like them, they're the baddies. He makes the baddie the goodie. There's no baddies for Jesus. Even the ones who are supposed to be outcasts and the ones that we don't like and the ones that we think are wrong and stupid and have it all mixed up, Jesus takes the time to be in this area, to heal people, to minister to people, to teach them, and to even use them as the hero of his parable. It's amazing. I want you to let that sink in for a little bit. And when you read the Bible and you start to see Samaritans, maybe that will give you even just a little bit of a better understanding of where they lived, what it was like in those two cultures. They didn't get along for centuries. Those groups didn't get along. Deep, deep-seated hatred and animosity towards one another. But I want to bring that back home to you now as a middle school student, because certainly now, and I would say probably from now on, even through high school and even into adulthood, we become really divided people. Right now, our country is very divided. People have all kinds of different opinions about what's right and what's wrong politically. People have different opinions about what's right and wrong socially. And it's all over social media. You're going to get bombarded with all kinds of opinions. People will have very, really strong opinions one way or the other, to the point where they will make the other people that don't have their opinion, they will ridicule them, they'll make fun of them, they will use bad language about them, they'll try to discredit them, make them look like they're inferior, that they're stupid, that they don't know what they're talking about. And I wonder, what about you, and what about the groups that are kind of within your own school or in your own class, or even people just that you would know in your neighborhood? Or what are the groups of people that don't get along, that for whatever reason would just kind of hate each other, or at least avoid each other, not talk to each other, and that if they were to talk to a person from that group, they would jeopardize their reputation. Like, oh, you talk to that person from that group? I don't know about you. And so you kind of then stay to yourself. You stay to your own, with your own friends and your own group, because if you talk to somebody from the other group, you're afraid of what other people are going to think about you. That's how it sort of starts. It's sort of this fear of, what are people going to think about me if I include people from the outside group? And I guess what I want to ask you is, who is the outside group? Who are the outside groups? Because if you can identify who those groups are, you can start by thinking to yourself, who are the people that I know that I don't want to talk to, that I don't want to associate with, the ones that I think are wrong, the ones that I think are ignorant, the ones that I think are just too weird, too strange. I want to avoid them. I don't really like what they have to say. I don't tolerate them. And see, the reason I'm asking you that is because what I see from the Gospels, what I see Jesus doing is breaking through all of those barriers that we make as people, these dividing lines. We make these divisions, just like on that map with the dividing lines of like, okay, we're not going to go through here. We're going to go around. I want to see those people. We do the same thing. We make these divisions and we say, well, I don't want to talk to those people. I don't want to spend time with those people. I don't want to hear what they have to say. That's not how Jesus was when he was here on earth. And that's the example he's giving us. And that's what I want to bring to you tonight. Is that Jesus is not about us having our divisions and our barriers against other people and having other people as the outsiders, and we're the cool ones and we're the ones that are in and they're out. So, what would it look like if you were willing to talk to somebody from the outside group? You have to start by knowing who those outside groups are. And then you have to start as well by like, this is a difficult thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to pretend that this is easy. So you start with praying for your own heart, your own self. You pray, Lord, help me not to be so nasty in my view of other people. Help me to see them as just another human. Someone who has needs just like I do. Someone who's hurting just like we all are. And then start praying for those people as well. And pray for opportunities that God might be able to use you to be a light, to be a witness, to be an example of his love for those people. Because those people might feel like outsiders. Sometimes they don't, and they think that you're the outsider. Either way, Jesus isn't afraid to be the outsider, and Jesus doesn't let people be outsiders. He goes right in. So that's my challenge and my encouragement to you tonight. And you'll be able to talk about some of that with your small groups, just to start thinking about who are these outside groups and how can you be breaking through some of those barriers. So love you guys, and I miss you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.